Survival of the Dead. I don't even know where to start with this one, but um, George A. Romero has been sort of going on a decline because his movies lately have been really low quality. I don't know what happened to the guy. Like, it was like after Day of the Dead, he kind of just disappeared and then came back with Land of the Dead. But then everyone was like, "Oh, Land of the Dead sucked," and Land of the Dead was not that bad. But it's true, it's not as good as it should have been. But you know, as a Dead film lover, I have to admit the guy is sort of like he's sort of losing it. Like I don't know, maybe the fame got to him or he honestly just ran out of ideas, but Survival of the Dead was not that good. I mean, I haven't seen Diary of the Dead, but I've heard like some really just like split decisions on Diary of the Dead. You either liked it or hated it, and when I heard about like it was gonna be POV style, it was just no, I'm skipping this one. And watching Survival of the Dead, I don't really need to see it, but yeah, I just don't know what happened with this movie. It's just okay. What I can tell from this movie is that it follows like a side group that was in the first movie, and it's more of a spin-off than a sequel. And when I was watching it, I was just thinking, wait a minute, isn't this Day of the Dead but flipped? It's just this time it's the soldiers who are the good guys. Like it opens up with like I think it was Sergeant Crockett or whatever, and there was Cisco, Tomboy, and Kenny. I think his name was Kenny, and these soldiers were the good guys of this movie, and they team up with like they go to an island and they team up with with a family that's bent on killing all the zombies, and they're feuding with a family who wants to train the zombies to not eat people. And I'm just thinking like, isn't this Day of the Dead? Like, it's Day of the Dead. It's except the scientists are the bad guys and the military are the good guys. And I'm just going, you ripped off your own movie. It's how do you not see this? Like they even have the same poles that like in Day of the Dead they had like the poles where they dragged around the zombies. They have the poles in this movie. And they're doing the thing where they're feeding them not non-human flesh. And you have the military guys and it's actually from the original script where the group goes to an island instead of an underground base. I hope you guys saw that. And it's not just Day of the Dead, it rips off like all the past Dead movies. Like it's of course ripping off Diary of the Dead, it's a sequel, spin-off, whatever. It rips off like Dennis Hopper from Land of the Dead, where the leader of the bad family, the Muldoons, he's like saying, "I give my people food and shelter and all that," and then it rips off Day of the Dead. It rips off Dawn of the Dead, where there's a scene where Major Crockett, Sergeant Crockett, whatever Crockett, he's shooting like zombie heads on a stake, and he looks like he's about to cry because what he's doing, and it follows the storyline of Night of the Living Dead, where it happens like a few days after Night of the Living Dead, and I'm just watching Survival of the Dead, and it's just like it's I've seen this stuff already, and it's not done in a good way. Because okay, the second thing people will notice in this movie is, besides like the total rip-offness of the past movies, the effects are low. Like it's directed DVD quality low, and there's a lot of like gags in the movie where gore gags where it just didn't work. Like there was one where he shoots like a flare at a zombie and its head explodes, and he like takes a cigarette and lights it. It's just like, okay. And there was one where he threw a grenade at a shack, and it explodes and has that cartoon effect where when a grenade explodes, it just has like they're all charred up. And other than that, it's like the acting's not that good. Like they're trying too hard to be emotional about they're killing people they love, and then like I don't know, it just didn't work. It it tried to be too much like the originals, and in the end, it failed. Like they tried to pull out like as much twist that would seem like it was emotional, but in the end it didn't. Like when the twin sister bit the other twin sister, I'm just going like, should I care for this girl? I don't really like her. She's an asshole. So why should I care? I care more about the soldiers. You know, the soldiers who are going around like killing other people for their stuff. They're supposed to be the bad guys of this movie. It's flipped. And really, it's just it's amazing just how bad this movie is. Like I hate to say that, but I really do hate to say that, but Survival of the Dead was just awful. Yeah. I really don't know what happened. Um Other comments I have about the movie, it's if you want to watch this movie, just watch Day of the Dead. It's the same movie except flipped. If you want, just imagine the scientists as the bad guys. That's about it. If you actually honestly want to watch it, just rent the DVD, I guess. You know, it's just pointless. I mean, even the even the things that were good in the originals, they were bad in this one. Like everyone praises the gore effects in the original. Here, it's just bad. It the gore effects were kind of just like either CGI or it's so obviously um, I don't really know how to say it, but it looks so cheap. And it doesn't really make sense because it's supposed to be taking place in the Night of the Living Dead storyline, but Night of the Living Dead took place in the 60s. And they have iPhones and computers in this. It doesn't really add up to me. And yeah, that's about it. It it should have been so much better, but in the end, it failed. I hope the next one is better. I really do hope the next one is better, so I don't give a negative review to one of my favorite directors. But Survival of the Dead was awful.